Hi guys, how are you? I know it's been a few days since my last post. As this lovely anxiety, depression thing goes, you don't feel like doing things sometimes. So I apologize. My apologies to you. But I was thinking about what my next post, my next vlog was going to be. So I thought, why not start at the beginning? I've got a lot of questions on, what happened, how did your anxiety start, what, took place. So I'm going to tell you my story. So back in 2001, my ex-husband had come to get my daughter on a Friday around 4 p.m. And he had picked her up. And about 6 that evening, I received a phone call from him. He accidentally had called me, but he was trying to call his current girlfriend at that time. He was drunk. He asked for this woman's name. I said, she's not here, but your ex-wife is, and where's my daughter? Click. He hangs up on me. So I spent the next 4 or 5 hours trying to get a hold of him. He would answer, laugh, and hang up. My girlfriend would call him. I called him from the landlines. I called my parents, everybody. So, we had somehow we had found out that my daughter was at his sister's house. So we all go over there. The cops from the county, the cops from the city, we all go over there, and my niece would not answer the door. She was 12 at the time, and she was afraid. They told her to call her parents because they were not there. My daughter was in a not so nice neighborhood with 4 other children left alone. So the police finally got into the house, and my daughter comes running out. And so the only reason why they did not take the kids is because the kids were clean, the house was clean, and they had been fed. The youngest was 6 months old, all the way up to 12. And the legal babysitting age at that time was 12. So no charges were pressed. So the next day, which was a Saturday, we're at Dairy Queen with my husband and my daughter and my son. All of a sudden, I got dizzy. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was going to die, and the feeling of impending death. My heart was racing. I didn't know what was going on. I think I was like 26 at the time, and I told my then husband. I said, "We got to go somewhere. I'm having a medical episode." So just so happens that there was a fire station right around the corner. So he gets me in the car, takes me over there. They get me out of the car, hook me up to the heart monitors and stuff. My, heart rate was 130, 132. My blood pressure was high. I can't describe the feeling of impending death. Just the chest heaviness, the dizziness. I thought I was going to vomit. They were trying to find out if I'm having a heart attack or, what's going on. And I said, stop. Everyone, stop. And they're like, why? We got to get you to the hospital. And I'm like, I have to poop. I have to poop. And they're like, what? I said, either you let me go to the bathroom or I'm going to poop right here. That's your 2 choices. So I have to go to the bathroom. I'm hooked up to all this, heart monitor stuff, blood pressure cuff, whatever. I had to leave the door open, and I'm just pooping my brains out, right? And they're like, her heart's at 130, 140, whatever. And I'm like, okay. I felt it because it's pounding out of my chest, And so I finished my business, and then they take me to the hospital. I had all the normal workup, for a heart attack, EKGs, troponin levels, potassium level, the whole spiel that they go through. Fine. Your heart is strong. And I'm like, obviously, because I feel it pounding out of my chest, And they gave me, I think it was Ativan at that time, and I was calm. I was like, all right, And that's when it started. That was my trigger point. Um, there had been, it was the issue of someone took my daughter. I could not find her. There were some other issues from my first marriage that I had not dealt with at all. My first husband was very physically abusive to me. I did get my daughter out of that situation. There was a breaking point where she was sitting on the couch. She was probably maybe a year old, 11 months old, somewhere around there. And we're arguing back and forth. I had propped her up on the couch, and she was just watching. And then I looked down at her. He was yelling at me. We were yelling back and forth. I looked down at her, and she was doing this. Just her eyes were this big, and she was just shaking like a leaf. I seen that, and I'm like, done. That day, I took myself and my daughter out of the situation. Court battle, whatever. I mean, he was not the nicest person anyway. He had, other issues going on. And also when I was 6 months pregnant with her, he had gotten drunk one time and was mad at me because dinner was not on the table right when he came home, and he decided to punch me in the chest. I mean, full out. I mean, this guy was almost 6'4", 250. He was built up here because he laid pipe. He laid pipe all day. But he was constantly lifting PVC pipe, so he had the strength of an ox. So, I mean, when I'm talking about punch, I mean, I went flying. I landed on my stomach, and it was raining. I get my shoes on. I go across the street to use a payphone. Yes, we had payphones back then. And I called my parents, and I told them what happened. And no sooner the cops were there, blah, 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 and he had gone to jail. That was when I was 6 months pregnant. There was other incidences that, we were out. I got married when I was 19. He was 26. So, we met and married 4 months to the day we met. And still to this day, I don't regret it. I would never have had my daughter. And the experiences would have not made me who I am today. There was a bunch of other incidences, but you're 19, you're 20, you think it's your fault. Well, I must have, messed up, I said, or did something wrong. I was, trying to be the perfect little wife, have the clothes done, the house clean, and then when my daughter came along, have that, but it still wasn't good enough. When people have issues and problems, that's not you. That's not on you, But at that time, you don't know that. There were about 2 instances where we were out drinking, and fights happened, and he would grab me by my neck. I remember one incident. His brother was a black belt in Taekwondo. We were out, and he decided to grab me by my neck and hold me up against the wall. Feet weren't touching. I was kind of gasping for air. His brother came up from behind him, roundhoused him in the back of the neck, and he dropped. There was an instance where after Kayla was born I said her name again, I used to wear this, I had long hair back in the day. And so I had this fake ponytail I had my hair back in a banana clip, and then I had a fake ponytail that was all long. I had come home from work and went up the stairs, and there was a landing, and then you go up another set of stairs, there's another landing, there's a bathroom, bedroom. I had come up the steps, out of nowhere, I get BAM! Right upside my head. My fake ponytail went flying into my daughter's bedroom. What the hell was that for? Where were you? Ah, I was at work. I'm still in my uniform, So instances like that would happen, and I would check on my daughter, and she's still snuggled in her crib, you know. Um, so yeah, I've been choked. I have been. I put my face in between the mattress and the rail of the waterbed one time. Tried to suffocate me, kill me that way. So yeah, it's been rough, you know. And at that time, you're young, you're too proud. Everyone tells you no. I'm gonna make this work. So you don't say anything. You don't tell anybody. You don't. You know, my parents didn't know. My friends knew he had a temper, weren't for sure that he was putting his hands on me. Um, and I'm not a very, I'm a very private person, so I don't tell a lot of things to a lot of people, you know. There were a few people that, like I said, might have thought that they knew, but, I hid it well. I was young. What the hell was I supposed to do, you know? So, but anyway, after that first incident at the Dairy Queen and in the hospital, that triggered about 6 to 7 monthly visits to the ER because I was having panic attack after panic attack after panic attack. I had no clue why, what had happened, what was going on. I spent it was in 4 months of outpatient therapy. I spent 6 hours in patient therapy, and I said, if somebody don't get me out here, I'm going to go crazy, literally crazy. Y'all think I'm crazy now? I'm going to go crazy if you keep me in this place. So that's a different story. That was second husband. So that was my trigger. Now, you ask, why would something like that trigger, you know? Some people can get over it, deal with it, that's fine. Others, and like I said, I've been told most of my life I have a chemical imbalance. That's why the anxiety, that's why, my serotonin level's low. Like I said about serotonin before, do your research on it. It can't be measured. They can think that you're having a low serotonin level, but it changes from minute to minute. You know what I'm saying? They can tell if one person has more production than another, but you can't measure that. So all my life, this whole time I got a chemical imbalance, and I was having night terrors, the panic attack of the sleep. There would be times I would wake up and just bolt out of bed. I mean, just take off running because your heart is beating so quick and you have to run, you have to go. And my ex-husband and my current husband too, sometimes he has to grab a hold of me, if he's out, because it's startling. I shake and then I'm gone, and those are called night terrors. They're fabulous. To be in a peaceful sleep and then boom, because that's another part of this lovely disease, that when you're sleeping, your subconscious is not. It's going through all the files of your brain. It's going through all the memories, through all of this, through all of that. And yeah, night terrors aren't so fun. So that was what started it for me 15 years ago. And it was very it was so frustrating, because not a lot of people talk about anxiety. I asked my parents, who else has this, who else has been, depressed in the family, who else, is like this. Nobody. Really? Seriously? I'm the only one? Nah, I'm not going to take that answer. And, I found out through the years that different people in the family have suffered, whether it's with anxiety or PTSD, chronic panic disorder. I like that label, chronic panic disorder, because when you're having 4 panic attacks a day, they label you chronic. Yeah, that was me at that time too. So that's my story, and that's what happened. That's what triggered all of this whole lovely journey. And like I said, I'm grateful for it. There are times that you scream and you're like, why me? I just want peace, peace, peace. You know, sorry, it's super frustrating. But then you come to a point like I hope that I am at, that I'm not saying why me anymore. Every time I try to get through one of these, it doesn't work. I, the last couple years, have said, okay, stop going against it. Stop, trying to fight it. It's here. It's with you. It's always going to be with you. Like I said before, if somebody tells you that they can get rid of it, okay. And with, like I said, with therapy, with different things, it will always help. But it's always going to be there, like I said, I've gotten into yoga and meditation. Helps a lot. It's given me the tools to deal with it better, to recognize it, to not be so afraid of it. So those are all good things. You're always constantly learning throughout your life, and especially when you're dealing with something like this, you're always learning about it, because your body is always throwing something new at you, a new symptom, a new this, a new that, but it's all a part of the great scheme of things. Some people have told me, not that I'm blessed, but, I'm special. I am, I like that word, I'm special. Well, we all know I'm special, but that God has given this to me for a reason. And through these videos and through other blogs and stuff I'm trying to get a part of, I hope that I can help other people. And like I said, it's the loneliest thing. It's the worst thing to feel alone. Even though you have a great support system, even though everybody, says, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. You're not, yeah, you are, but you're not in here with me when this happens. And that's not to be mean, and that's not to shut people out or anything like that. But I want to also, my next video will be what husbands or spouses can do with living with somebody with anxiety. I know my second husband was off of his rocker and was like, I'm done with you. Completely done with you. Because like I said, we don't talk about this stuff. We don't, people have anxiety every day, Carrie, you need to get over it. Here, take these pills. This will make you feel better. Well, yeah, but I like to enjoy my life and function. So, at that time in my life, I was just doing what the doctors told, because they didn't know enough about this, and they didn't, there wasn't enough research on it, and all they knew was to throw pills at you. Throw pills. Okay. So I've been on the medication wheel. I've gained weight. I've lost weight. I've, had every heart thing, that I'm willing to have. No, I'm not going to have a medical stress test. Are you crazy? Are you crazy in the head? No, I'm not going to sit on the table and have you inject me and have my heart. No, not doing that. And I'm not going to run anywhere. Like I said, my first husband had me walking and running all over my city. So no, I'm not doing that either. But I've had thyroid checks. I've had hormonal checks. Any other imbalance you could think of, I've been checked on it. So thank you, Jesus, that everything has always come back good. Recently, I did have a low potassium level when they did the heart enzymes. So I started. I think it's supposed to be like 6.5, and mine was 6.2. Oh, and we'll talk about, too, later, the other anxieties that come along with having anxiety. So you're anxious about anxiety. Yes, perfect. I wanted to show you guys Brownie right quick. I know this is a long video. I'm sorry. But I have talked about him before. This is him. I mean, you can see how old he is. Um, he's one of my focal points. Like I said, a girl actually gave it to me in outpatient therapy when I was going through that stage of my life. Sorry, I got here. So, this is Brownie. He goes with me everywhere. He is my anxiety pup. Yeah. Um, I've had him forever, so he is my love. Okay. Ooh, 20 minutes. Sorry, guys. So, like I said, my next video is going to be just tips on people living with people that have anxiety, what they can do, what not to say, what to say. So I just wanted to let you know my starting point on this fabulous journey. All right, guys, remember, you're safe, you're calm, and you're breathing. All right, guys, thanks, bye.